Hey guys, and today Sean and I are going to do our AFL Q&A episode 12, I think it is, buddy.
Well, it's your job to check what episode number it is.
Probably should have checked, but I'm guessing it's around 12. It's 11 or 12, we'll go with 12.
Alright.
There's no Cats reviews, mate, the last few weeks, so the Q&A and the tips have been relishing the situation.
Yeah, they've lifted in the review's absence.
They certainly
like a
have.
good video should, but that's alright.
Gee whiz, the commonalities there between players, footy and all that kind of stuff are fantastic. Dico HC kicks us off, mate, as he normally does for some reason.
Number one fan, this bloke. It's good.
I guess with the way we printed off, the first comment shows up, so you may be normally the first one to comment. Good on you, mate. Nice haircut, by the way, Shorty. Fresh!
Thank you, mate.
I like your style as well, Tizio. My hair.
Well, have you checked out the new top he's running with?
it might start a trend. Yeah, actually used to have spiky hair, mate, believe it or not, back in the day.
Is he referring to your hair, is he?
I think he's referring to my hair. I'm guessing so. Maybe you can give me the answer to that. There's my Q&A for the week. Yeah. I'm assuming so. He's saying nice haircut and then he likes my style. Don't know. You can answer that one for us, mate. My questions are, in response to the fans' question I asked, I heard something about Victorians who don't support Western Bulldogs. Love their fans because doggy fans are apparently the best and know the most about AFL compared to the other fans. What is your opinion on them, and have you heard that before? Well, we don't really know many doggies fans or have many doggies mates, I guess, so it's tough to know, really. I haven't got a definite answer. We've probably got people in inboxes that are doggies fans, but we don't know many of those supporters. We don't go to many doggies games, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I haven't heard that before. No, I mean,
there's no real rumour about it. I wouldn't have thought. But
not really sure, to be honest. I don't think there's in most clubs. I reckon you've got a reasonable percentage of dumb supporters, your average Joes, and your knowledgeable ones. And that percentage gets smaller as it goes on, mind you. But I wouldn't think, as much as you may get Collingwood of dumb fans and stuff, I don't reckon the percentage is vary too much. Maybe there's just more dumb Collingwood fans because they're bigger, but
probably, yeah, I'll agree.
Nothing against Doggies fans, I guess.
No, certainly not. Do you think that the unlucky Josh Cowan and Daniel Menzel are realistically a chance to play on next year? Yeah, it's a tough question, and I think they need to prove something this year or it's nearly bust for them. I don't think as much for Dan Menzel because they have great faith in him and he's reasonably proven. Josh Cowan, they've really persisted with him and he seems like a jet, maybe in their eyes more so than what the public sees. But we've seen him play at VFL level and he's been pretty solid, and also at AFL level, not very much, but he has shown some good signs. So it's a tough one, and Shorty's probably the better man to answer this question.
Yeah, no, I think you answered pretty well, mate. I reckon, I agree with you completely there. I think Menzel has shown enough that I think the only way we would delist him is if he would have another long-term injury. Otherwise, I think they will persist with the odd hammy or the setback here and there. And I think he's a pretty good chance to play VFL footy. Fingers crossed later this year.
2 weeks, I think he's away.
Yeah, so hopefully soon. So he's close, but Josh Cowan is consistently getting sort of 4 to 8 week injuries and stuff, and maybe his body can't hack it at all, but also he doesn't have that absolute upside, hasn't shown as much. And I think probably another one in that conversation is Vardy. I think probably one of Vardy or Cowan won't be there next year. You just never know.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe someone like Hartman quitting the club helps their cause, but
certainly.
Definitely Menzel keep, Cowan watch, I would say.
Yeah, they're both on the watch list if they get a long-term injury. I'll give you that. And the next one, what's been Geelong's worst performance since 2012? Believe it or not, Dicko, it was only a few weeks ago against the Demons, so we lost by 4 goals, I think, and just the way we played was just play like millionaires and just had no care in the world. You can check our review, Dicko, if you haven't seen it, where we sort of give the Cats a good bash there, so you can check that out through our channel, but we were just horrible that day, and there's been, I guess, a lot of bad performances since then. More so in the last year and a half, including this year, of course. So yeah, there's been some disappointing ones, and you might touch on that one and a few others.
Yeah, I agree with the Melbourne one. Yeah, definitely check out the review. We were pretty disappointed in that one. And
Yeah.
the other one I felt was applicable was the Swans loss, where it was 110 points. So
That was pretty bad.
and that was a massive shock at the time. It really was the first time that people started talking about other wheels falling off Geelong and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it sort of put us back onto earth, and that
It
was what initially came to mind.
No, fair enough. Is there any other ones? I think we mentioned one other one. Probably the Hawthorn one, almost. I mean, at the start of this year was... I think I remember... I was actually looking through the video the other day, and I think my headline was Cats Cooked.
Cats Cooked.
Which was quite knee-jerkish, but I think we probably said it was one of our worst losses in 10 years, because in the statement you made about there's never been such a big gap between us and the best team in the competition, and probably you know, in the time we've been the best team or up there. So there you go.
Yeah, nice, mate.
So that's what we think there. Will Joel Selwood ever win the Brownlow? I'll let you say off, mate. I reckon I have a good idea.
I think he will. I think he will win the Brownlow one year. Yeah, but I mean, will Scott Pendlebury? Don't know. I mean, he's been one of the best and most consistent players of this decade, but he may not win a Brownlow. You know, Fife is hugely likely to win it this year, and who knows? I mean, I think Selwood is certainly capable, because the Brownlow is just who is the best player in that season. I mean, like Adam Cooney, is he a champion of the game?
No,
probably not. He's a very good player and had an outstanding season, hence he's a Brownlow medalist.
That's right.
All he needs one good year, and I think Selwood is capable of it, but
intriguing.
None yet.
What do you reckon I'll call with, mate?
I reckon you're going to say no.
On my sheet it says no.
Oh.
I don't reckon he can. Well, can Tom Hawkins win the Coleman?
Yeah.
No, he can't.
Why can't he?
Because we're too team oriented, mate. That's why.
Nah, the Tom Hawkins one is probably a fair call, but Selwood's one of the best in the competition, sure.
He is, but don't forget he has lapses throughout seasons, which you can't afford to have. I think you've got to have a consistent, probably 16 to 20 games at least, and poll very nicely there. And he has proven in the past that he has great second halves of the year, good starts of the year, but just has a lapse in the middle patch for whatever reason. Selwood does that, but I think there's just more players that are, I don't know, are more of a chance. You know, as you said, Pendlebury's a chance, even Dan Hanbury's a chance. If Josh Kennedy would have put in a season of amazingness, that he's a chance. David Armitage in the future, Jack Stephen even. So he can win one, but I'm going by percentages and saying he's pretty unlikely to win one based on who's won one and who hasn't won one that can win one. So
another thing I might just quickly add is that probably now Geelong are on the decline, which means less 3-vote games available. That won't work in his advantage. But things can change quickly, and that may coincide with his peak of his career. Who knows?
There you go. Yep.
You just never know with the Brownlow.
Sometimes just to, pick it out of the hat almost, out of the top 20 midfielders.
Yeah.
And P.S. I would love to do a video with you guys in the future. Keep up the awesome work. I'm not sure how that'd work, mate.
He's laying it out to you, mate. He wants to do a video.
We can barely fit two in the camera, as you can see. So, sorry about that, mate. I'm not sure if we'll be able to do that for you. I don't know
Give the man some hope.
I don't even know where you live. And it's interesting. What do you think, mate?
Oh, it's probably down slow. Nah, like you said off air, logistically probably would be difficult.
A bit random and
I don't know.
Out of there, but
is he from Sydney? Who knows?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we like the endeavour and effort, mate. But not sure.
A couple of questions for Dicko as well in that one.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Keep his questions coming as well.
Exactly, keep it coming, mate. And you've got
I've got the next one.
Yeah, you do. Yep.
Brody James, who am I correct in saying is a newcomer, or?
Oh, it could be his first or second question. Maybe you can answer that question before you go for it, Brody.
Good to see him back in the picture. He's got a couple here. We'll go with the first one. Who are your top 5 rucks this year? Who are your top 5 rucks, mate? I'm interested to hear yours first.
I don't think there'll be too much different.
Neither do I.
I've gone with Goldie, Sandy, Martin, Jacobs and Nick Nat. That's my top 5. I reckon they've all been pretty solid. Had their ups and downs, but they've all been pretty regular contributors, Supercoach wise, and for their team.
Yeah. I've had Goldstein, Martin. I've got Mumford in there, but probably sub him with Sandy given the injury, so he probably won't be by the end of year. But
exactly, yeah.
And then I've got Jacobs and Nick Nat, so
exactly the same.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, basically. So they have been the standouts, haven't they?
They sure have.
And who is your most overrated player at each club? I'll hand that over to the list himself. He loves a list, Tizio.
Oh, not really.
You don't.
I just know you'd take you forever to do it. So.
Yeah, I probably would. So take it away.
We know our limitations. It's tough to interpret it because does it mean just this year? Does it mean players that don't perform or frustrating players? It's tough to know. So I can give you a bit of an insight, but not too much. Taylor Walker had a great start to the year, but doesn't always set the world on fire. Not as a match winner as he was in 2012. Matty Leuenberger, Daniel Rich. Leuenberger's been a top 10 pick, hasn't quite lived up to it, been injury prone. Manny Cruiser, injury prone. Travis Cloak and Jesse White. It's a tough one because they've been playing okay footy, but again, they're not key forwards you have your hopes on to kick after the sign to win your game.
Certainly not.
David Zaharakis, I guess injury, and I've seen that goal a million times, so I'm sick of seeing it. Hayden Ballantyne. I don't think I could really pick one for the Dockers. It was tough because Nat Fyfe's a brilliant player, but he deserves the rate he gets. So, and Mundy doesn't get talked about, and Barr doesn't get talked about. So, you could nearly put in Sandilands, but even though he's been performing really well, so
just put him in your top 5 rucks, mate. Are you feeling all right?
I can't put. I'll go with Hayden Ballantyne. He's kicked 10 goals this year, I think. Not good enough as a small forward.
He has been down, hasn't he?
Yeah, certainly. They rate him on his pressure, but not goal kicking. The Geelong one was probably the toughest one. I've gone with Steve Mollop and Joel Selwood. I don't know. Joel Selwood on this year, mate, maybe.
Yeah, this year is understandable.
Steve Mollop can be a bit like North Melbourne. And Jack Martin, again, injury and the best player ever, so he got a pretty tough rap outside of his control, I suppose. Ryan Griffin. Your man.
Nah, he's sucked it up this year.
He has, yeah. And Cyril Rioli's, it's a tough one. He kicks 5 on the weekend, wins the game for them, but again, he doesn't need 30 possessions. It was a tough one for the Hawks as well. The Hawks and who else was it? Fremantle were really tough to pick, matey. And Jack Watts, number 1 draft pick, says it all. Jared Waite, very frustrating. And Travis Boak. People rate him as one of the best captains in the league, and he just doesn't really deliver it. He's had a tough year like Port Adelaide. Richmond, gee, do I want to read it out?
Do it.
Trent Cotchin, Vickery.
Oh, Trent, please.
And the Tigers is very tough too.
Oh, Trent might change his mind in the next one. He's been outstanding.
He has had a great couple of weeks and months, I guess. But if we're talking about the last couple of years, he would be, but it was very tough to pick one.
Yeah.
So many go under the radar that are improving at the moment. Oh, for the Saints, I don't know. I had Paddy McCartan there and Sam Gilbert. I literally could not think of anyone.
Stop whacking young guys, mate. You just Paddy McCartan, give him a crack.
Number 1 draft pick, and he barely touched the footy in his first night, mate.
He's probably nervous, alright? You got a late call up.
Oh, I'm sure Brad Dalziel will say otherwise with 32 possessions on debut, but
Alright.
How do you feel about that, mate?
Oh, I'm crossing you off my Christmas card list, I tell you, mate.
Well, no presents for me, mate. Alrighty, Adam Goods and Kurt Tippett for the Swannies. Kurt Tippett more so than Goods, but more Goodsy. And Liam Duggan for the West Coast Eagles. Everyone has been saying every week, when is Liam Duggan going to get a Rising Star nomination? It's like, you got 10 possessions this week, mate. Let's say Jesse Hogan's got 20 possessions, 10 marks and 4 goals. That deserves it more than Liam Duggan. You got to actually play. He's played one decent game, and someone probably played a better game than his decent game. And since then, everyone's played better games than his shit games.
You're fired up, mate. Sorry.
Oh, mate, I really am. And speaking of young blokes, Bontempelli for the Dogs. No, mate, these players.
I agree with that one.
Thanks. Yeah, I know you don't like him. I know you don't like him like the rest of the world do, which is not too bad. So, the Bont needs to learn the hard tag, but he's been a fantastic player in saying that, and it was very tough. It's always tough to find the negatives out of players. I'll give you that.
Yeah, solid list, mate.
Certainly,
It is an opinion game, so that's all good. No.
Yeah, I tried.
That's all right. That's all we ask here. We've got the final question. So, how do you rate West Coast chances next season with Mackenzie back in the side?
I'm sure he won't be the only one back in the side.
No, not at all. And if anything, that'll just strengthen them. I mean, I don't see it doing anything else than helping them. I think it's not about the personnel, because the fact that they've lost so many key defenders and we're all going, oh, West Coast are gone because they've got no defence, shows that their defensive structures hold up almost no matter who is in there.
Yeah, regardless.
You can't play Caleb Daniel there, but
yeah,
you know what I mean? So I think their midfield pressure combined with their structures they're playing, Mackenzie should slide back in nicely and contribute as he normally does.
Yeah, only sort of make it the same, if not better.
Yeah, exactly right.
But talking the personnel side of things, man, it's a bit like us. It doesn't really matter who's in. It just all depends on how we structure up that day and how we go through the week and training wise and what we sort of set up against the opposition, not so who we really have in.
Yeah, that's right.
Which has been the common theme.
And they have managed without him, and I don't think it's going to alter it too much, because they're a solid team at the moment.
I wouldn't have thought so, but what I said is basically I think they'll be really good again. If they keep playing the way they're playing, it'll be top 4 again. If they keep going the way they are going about it. Mitch Brown's another one to come in, so that's another key defender to help them out, and I guess they get experience into other guys that sort of get a few games as well, so I can only see them being the same, if not better, because as their structure sort of stands up against most teams, not much will change except for the name and the number on the back, so there you go.
Good stuff, mate.
Sweet. Next question is, I'm guessing Cleve, going on by Cleve Waterhouse, but I'll say Clive or Cleve Lawrence. No happy tears when you have a good, emotional, hard-earned win. I'm more likely to tear up with those positive moments across any context, sport, film, life, etc., etc. Unfortunately, I can't quite agree with that. I don't really tear up. I just get really pumped and excited. I'm not a very emotional person. I'm either happy as or angry, but not bipolar though. But, it's pretty rare I'm angry, and if not, I'm just happy or the same.
Yeah.
Pretty stock standard. So sorry I can't empathise is the word for you there, matey. So what do you reckon?
Yeah, of course.
You tear up a little bit, don't you?
I'll get that. In reference to the question last week was, have you ever cried at a game? Is what this is in response to.
Oh, thanks, mate. You cleared that one up nicely.
Oh no, I've never cried over a win or anything. I guess there's been times, like 2011 Grand Final was the only thing that came to mind. Yep. I was just sort of at the ground after the game, so I had that realisation that, gee, this could be the last time I'm ever here, better soak it up, and it was proved correct. I deliberately soaked it up, and so I guess I was emotional, but it wasn't like I was crying or anything. I was just overawed of the situation, but
couldn't believe it.
It's no emotional tears and that, but you tear up when you watch The Notebook though, right?
Oh mate, every time. Gets me every time.
Every time, mate.
You got the next one, mate?
I do. I don't need to turn the page quite yet.
Not yet.
The Kev, is that an F in there? Kev F21.
Kev?
Is he a newbie as well? Is it?
Yeah, I haven't seen him before.
I don't think we've heard
he's,
from Kev before.
He's got his noodles on the front.
Yeah, he's a bit of me goreng.
Me goreng, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, some people don't make good debuts, mate, and I think Kev has kicked us off with his first question with one he might want to take back.
If he had his time again.
If he had his time again, he might press the delete button here. But Kev's off the radar here. I'll read his question out. Is Alex Rance the most overrated player in the AFL? Yeah, I did read that correct. Sorry, I was just reading over that.
I was seeing if anything was written down.
Nah, he's certainly not, mate. If anything, he's in contention for the All-Australian centre-half back or full-back. Take your pick. He's certainly not overrated at all.
He's touted up the best forwards in the competition.
I don't know where you get that assumption from. Is it to do with his price tag? I wouldn't have thought so. I think if you consistently watch the footy and whatnot and those sort of things, players' price value goes up when they're going elsewhere, but when you stay in the club, it's it comes back a bit. So if you think it's outrageously priced, well, you got to pay overs to get those good players. And even just against the Giants, when the game was in the balance, he took a couple of intercept marks on Jeremy Cameron, and was just outstanding. So outrageous call.
Who would you say it is?
The most overrated player in the AFL?
Yeah.
Oh, gee, I don't even really know at the moment. I mean,
I wouldn't say there really is.
you just went through quite a few, didn't you? So, I mean, I guess we could pick one out then.
Yeah,
most overrated player at each club. So, Travis Boak comes to mind, but I don't like saying players overrated too often because it's a tough one. It's like you got to be good enough to become overrated, but I always feel like good players can answer that call. So
yeah, which is why that question was so hard to answer.
Yeah, and I think Rioli can be pumped up a lot sometimes, but then he can dish up a 10 disposal game.
Kick 5 goals.
And be amazing. So that's what those good players are capable of doing. But shoot us another question, Kev. I reckon he's got another good one in him. It can be better than that one.
Nicely done, mate.
It's all in good jest, though. It's nothing too personal. We like to have a bit of fun on the Q&A.
We do. If we're having throwing a bit of stick your way, I'd take it as a compliment almost. Because it shows we're pretty comfortable.
Bit of banter.
It's good, mate. Yeah, you're all about it and love it. So certainly nice to dish it out. Kate Smith, who's apparently footy collector, as he says, PS, I'm footy collector at the bottom.
Yeah. Thanks
for letting us know. Who is the most hated at each club?
Another list, mate. Kick us off.
Gosh. These bloody lists, I don't know.
Holy crap.
So, footy collector and Dicko HD absolutely love a list. I don't know what it is, and now that I've said that I'm almost against them, they're just going to do more. So,
they are now that you've said it. For sure.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll read it out. It was so tough. I don't even know. I hated this year. Or if you have timelines for these questions, that helps it more because it gives it more context.
Hey, mate, they're just asking the questions, all right. You're the one doing the Q&A, mate.
I'm telling them just how to, ask a really good question if they, want a good answer.
All right.
Not saying it's a bad question, but
all right. It's okay.
Yeah, I didn't really know how to interpret it, but yeah, I've just written down a few names here. I've put it from my point of view, maybe from the fans' point of view, maybe from people that like that club's point of view, whether they're going good or badly, I don't even know. So anyway, here's some names for you, mate. I've taken forever to get around to it. Daniel Talia. You'd hate to have your full forward on him because he dominates everyone. Dane Zorko. He can just be hot and cold each week. Chris Yaron seems to like punching blokes. Jamie Elliott, you can turn the game on pretty easily. Michael Hibberd, I just don't like the way he looks, and I just used to hate him. I still do probably. Hayden Valentine, that might be an easy one for everyone. Just a bit of a flog in general. Just likes to, just like you at parties, mate. Just make something out of nothing. Cause fireworks.
And annoy people.
Yeah, pretty much. As Geelong fans, Smets and Shane Kirsten.
Yeah.
Not a huge fan of them. Harley Bennell. Probably not too liked after his shenanigans. Toby Green. I've heard he's a bit of a pest and he's had to go away because he's been a bit of a bug.
Yeah.
Bit of a Thomas bug. Jordan Lewis. Well, he likes to hit blokes as well. And especially Todd Goldstein.
Yeah, a couple of times.
Just twice. Twice at the very least. Jack Watts.
He's made both your lists and they're negative lists.
Oh no.
Ouch.
Well, I guess that's a bad thing, Jackie boy. So, yep. Scotty Thompson and Jarrah Waite. Scotty Thompson can just be an absolute pest. I mean, just have to remember back to Barry Hall.
Jarrah Waite makes it twice as well.
He does, because they're both pretty frustrating, aren't they? They can be both fantastic or equally as bad.
Hated and overrated. Lovely.
Wow. There you go.
Lovely.
The category you don't want to be in. It was tough, guys, I swear. And Johnny Butcher. It's John Butcher.
Yep.
Not that he plays many games, but you'd have to hate when he has a kick a goal or kick in general. He just can't kick. Nathan Foley, because he's injured so much. Sam Gilbert, I think he's in both too.
Yeah, I think he might have been.
Yeah, he used to be one of the best half-backers or centre half-backs, and injuries killed him. Adam Goods.
Oh no!
Well, the public knows why that is, and they say he's a sook, and they say he plays the 3 kicks, gets looked after really nicely, and all that kind of stuff. Jeremy McGovern, we're sick of his intercept marks and all that kind of stuff, so yeah, he's a bit of a tubby boy. And Liam Picken used to be a pest. He's a bit more of an attacking player now, but yeah, he's done pretty well for himself. releasing himself from the pesty tag.
But you still hate him.
Maybe lots of people do. You wouldn't want to play on him.
No, you wouldn't. No, he
He
has
kept
turned
Gaz.
himself.
Sorry, mate.
Has turned himself into a very good player, though. Hasn't he?
He has kept Gaz to 19 possessions
Yeah.
last year, I think.
Yeah. No, he did.
Did well. Gaz would have hated that, so that's why he's hated.
Good list, though, mate. Good list.
Yeah, it's exhausting reading it. If you've got a ticket to see the grand final between, by the way, not allowed to say Geelong. I think it means between any two teams except for Geelong.
Yeah.
Didn't quite get that in, but that's all right. Kate Smith / Footy Collector. We've got that one covered. Go for it, mate.
Dogs and St Kilda. I would love to.
Interesting one.
I'd love to go there. I just think they're it's been so long since both clubs have tasted success, and
Fair point.
it has been little success when they have tasted it. It hasn't come around too often, few and far between.
Yep.
Two Melbourne clubs that, there's some Melbourne clubs I dislike, which I'm sure people who are watching often know who those are. Hawthorn, Collingwood, Carlton, and the obvious ones. But I don't mind the Dogs and the Saints, really.
Nice.
I don't mind them at all.
You'd love to barrack for them at the moment.
Yeah, I think they're showing that a grand final between them in 3 to 4 years is probably possible. I think they'll be up there pretty soon.
Certainly, yeah. There's a chance.
Yeah, I always like to see a long-standing record or a drought broken, I guess.
Yep.
And
certainly.
to be done by a Melbourne club is even better.
There you go. Funnily enough, you've gone Melbourne clubs, mate, because I've gone interstate clubs.
Oh, there you go.
Port Adelaide and Fremantle would be an interesting one. You've got them at their best. You've got one of the fastest, exciting, and most exciting teams playing against one of the most defensive and well-structured teams.
Yeah.
Fremantle haven't won a premiership, and as much as I hate them, I'd love for them to win one. It's never good, seeing a coach especially come in that's sort of relatively proven to, get the best out of their team and to get to finals and even grand finals. But I hate when people bag out Ross Lyon. It annoys me because he's better than a lot of coaches.
Yeah,
but
he's a very good coach.
On game day, home and away season, even early final series, good luck.
Yeah.
You're more a chance to lose. So they're both exciting teams, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much Fremantle, but
just a contrast of styles.
yeah, attacking versus one of the most defensive ones. So be good to see Freo win a flag one day.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Maybe this year, but I'm leaning towards no because of their form lately. But it's tough to know.
Yeah, plenty of rounds to play out, mate.
There is.
We'll move on.
It's all about how you play the last 8 weeks of the season.
Yes, it is. Move on to the final question from a regular contributor, the Junkyard Dog. Do you think Richmond are a top 4 contender? Which teams that currently are in the 8 are going to drop out? And which teams will come in? Do you want me to kick us off, mate?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Alright, so I think, you've got to say the Tigers are a top 4 contender. I think they've shown they can certainly knock the top 4 sides off.
Yep.
And if they can start beating the teams that they should, which the Giants was a mini step towards that.
Yeah, it wasn't convincing, but
No.
I guess they have to take it as a win.
But in the past, they would have lost that. They wouldn't have had that within them to, at 3/4 time, turn it around and get the win. So
exactly.
a mini turning of the corner. But look, I think they've got to be in the conversation. I don't think they'll finish top 4. I think probably, what do we got? Hawthorn, Sydney, Fremantle, West Coast.
Yep.
Is looking very likely. But I think they deserve to be in the conversation. So
Exactly.
what do you reckon?
Well, actually, once you read the question out again, it sort of almost made me change my mind a little bit because it says top 4 contender.
Yeah.
But even though that is the case, I'd say no. But as Shorty said, they definitely deserve to be in the conversation. If they keep beating the best teams and winning the games they should, as you basically just said, then certainly they can. How many games have they lost? I think 5. I think they're 8 and 5.
8 and 5, yeah.
I know they can certainly beat the top 4 teams for some reason. They've even over the last few years, they've just been able to beat the best teams for some reason. Like they beat the Hawks by 10 goals in 2012, and then 41 points. I think it was 41 points the year after in wet conditions. And Hawthorn grand finals both years. It's like, how does that even mathematically work out? I think Richmond naturally match up against Hawthorn in particular quite well.
Yep.
So they've definitely got a good record against some of the better teams in the competition, and I think they can be a contender, but I'd say it's unlikely. I think Fremantle, Hawthorn, Sydney, West Coast, Hawthorn, Sydney, West Coast.
Yeah.
I think they're certainly slightly better or in better position to be top 4.
Yeah, no, definitely,
And
mate.
the top 8.
Yeah. I was looking at it, and just with all the circumstances and things, I feel as if it would be a monumental effort for Adelaide to stay in the 8. I really do. I can't see them making that, and I guess that's totally out of their control, isn't it? I mean, all those factors are going to drain them, and there's so many unknown factors, not to mention...
Didn't even think about that, actually.
Yeah, well, I think I had them slipping out of the 8 prior to
The
events and stuff, but I just think, looking at the guys outside the 8, there weren't too many that just jumped out at me and said, I'm going to jump in the 8. I came up with North Melbourne as a gut feel, and I looked at the Giants as well, because I actually think GWS is just getting over sort of those loss of players. They were better against Richmond.
Yeah, they were.
And anyone with that talent in the midfield is certainly capable, and because they had a poor season last year, their draw is quite appealing.
That's a fair point.
So possibly they could sneak in there. But I've gone with North Melbourne just purely on a bit of a gut feel. I know they were terrible against Gold Coast, but looking at their draw as well, they have a fairly somewhat cushy draw over the next month, 5 weeks.
Fair enough.
And I think from memory, I'll even just look at my sheet, the end is a bit tougher. But I think it's going to be more about the footy they're playing, because they just lost to Gold Coast. So
who knows what you're going to get from them in any given week.
Yeah, it's a very tough one, and historically it doesn't change too much, so I think there'll only be one movement. I don't think Geelong will get back in there, nor do I think Port Adelaide will. So,
no, certainly not. Wouldn't have thought so.
What do you think, though? I mean, have you got much different there?
I think it'll stay exactly how it is.
Yeah.
I didn't really consider the Adelaide one, but if you want to talk about the top 4 teams going, or potentially they could go into the GWS, Geelong, who else is
North
there?
Melbourne,
North
Port
Melbourne,
Adelaide.
Port Adelaide.
Yeah.
I'd have to say GWS is probably the most likely with their draw, because they're not up against quality opposition, but no game's easy for anyone, especially GWS. So
Well, that's right. I guess
who knows what you're going to get.
Yeah, it just depends who can play in good blocks of 4, as the Tigers talk about.
Yeah.
Because we can try and predict, but we're doing the tips this week. It's hard enough to do the tips. Know who's winning this week. You can't look forward and go, in round 20 the Giants play Port Adelaide, so they'll win. You just can't.
So much changes.
It changes too much. Form fluctuates, so very difficult. But yeah.
Absolutely. Well,
there's the questions done.
Those all the questions. Yeah, felt like we went on for a while, but
nice, mate.
That's all right. There were some pretty good ones there this week.
Must have been those lists, mate.
Yeah, those lists were very exhausting, unfortunately, but that's how it goes.
Take the papers down, mate. We're done.
Yeah, the day of the office is done and dusted.
Good stuff.
Alrighty, thanks for all the questions, guys. All you have to do is just type out a question in the comments below, and then we'll answer it for you the week after on the Sunday. And we look forward to them each week.
Especially the lists.
Up the list. You get the picture. Just, ask questions, footy related, Supercoach related, whatever you like. As long as it's sort of footy related, not too personal. And don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. Share it around to all your mates so they can ask plenty of questions as well. And don't forget to subscribe as well, that'd be fantastic. Thanks for sticking around again, guys, and we'll see you all soon.